And
Aloha. I'm Dale Rosenfeld, and this is Conscious Cannabis Conversations. Today, we're going to be talking with Wendy Gibson Viviani, who is a medical cannabis nurse. So knowledgeable, so wonderful to share all her knowledge with other medical professions and you. Welcome, Wendy.
thank you, Dale. Great to be here.
Thanks. Today, I understand that we're going to be talking about decriminalization, long word, decriminalizing cannabis at the federal level. We've just been going through it here in Hawaii at the state level, and many states continue to work on it. But federal level, once it changes there, it will change for all of us. In addition to talking about that decriminalization, we're going to talk a little bit about Unity Week, 420 Unity Week in Washington, D.C. So, Wendy, why don't you tell us a little bit about anything and everything about that topic, and I'll just butt in whenever I have to.
Great, thanks. So we are at a great moment in time where we might be able to make a pretty big difference in cannabis law at a federal level. And there are three things that you can do to help draw down this war on drugs. The first one is that you can sign a petition to President Biden that asks him to fulfill his campaign promise to decriminalize cannabis on a federal level and also to expunge records. You can also write or call your congressional legislators and urge them to deschedule cannabis, which means take it out of the Controlled Substances Act. Or you can also go to Washington, D.C. and engage in a 420 Unity Week. And you can find out more about that at the Last Prisoner Project website. And that's going to be almost a full week of legislative actions and well, all kinds of cannabis activists are going to be gathering on a larger scale than any other time in history in Washington, D.C. for this 420 Unity Week. So I encourage anybody who can engage at any of these levels to please do that and help move this forward.
So, Wendy, I see we're talking about decriminalizing and asking Biden to fulfill his promise to decriminalize. But then you're also talking about legislators, our Congress and Senate from Hawaii that are at the federal level to deschedule.
Yes.
But just tell me what's the difference between decriminalizing and descheduling?
Well, descheduling is the way to decriminalize. So right now, cannabis is considered to be one of the most illegal and dangerous substances on the planet. And it is in a class in the Controlled Substances Act, which is a Schedule I drug. And we're trying to encourage our legislators, our Congress people, to take it out of the Controlled Substances Act altogether, and that will effectively decriminalize it on a federal level.
Got it. So that's our way to get it decriminalized. Thanks. Tell me a little bit more about the 420 Unity Day. Do we have specific people who are promoting it or being the sponsors for it?
Yeah. The main sponsors are the Last Prisoner Project and Students for Sensible Drug Policy. And you can find out more by going to both of their websites, but they have a whole week of events lined up in Washington, D.C. On the 17th, there's going to be a press conference and I believe a vigil for all of the victims from the war on drugs. There's on the 18th, the activists are going to descend on Congress. They're going to go down to the Capitol in DC and talk to all of the Congress and encourage them to take it out of the Controlled Substances Act and encourage Biden to fulfill his campaign promises also. And then on the 19th, there's going to be a rally down at the White House to have a presence and make it known that we want descheduling, not rescheduling. We want descheduled. And then on the 19th and the 20th, there's going to be a presence at, I believe it's called I have to look it up and see what the event is. I believe it's National Cannabis Festival. That's what it is. So they're going to be at the National Cannabis Festival. They're going to have a table with information. They're also going to be teaching people how to address overdoses and stuff like that. They're going to teach them how to use naloxone and
Nice.
yeah. So it's going to be a wonderful week of events that people can engage in.
And the push is to decriminalize, to deschedule it, not to reschedule it. Yeah. Not to put it someplace else that we still have issues. It's just a carrot.
Well, it's more than a carrot. I mean, like any other medicine, it can, you need to use it carefully. But yes, it would essentially, we want the focus to be on descheduling it and also retroactive justice for the people who've been harmed by the war on drugs. Because
so expungement is a word that I keep hearing being thrown around. Tell us about expungement.
Well, there's been according to the Last Prisoner Project's website anyway, there've been 15.7 million people who have been arrested on, marijuana related charges. And that could be simple possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. But over the last 20 years, 15.7 million people have been arrested. And so all of them have criminal records. And so as part of, the restorative justice efforts that we're trying to push forward, the records would be expunged or removed. We would clear people's records, give them like a clean slate.
Because right now, anybody who has a record, they struggle to get a job, they may struggle to get public housing, all sorts of struggles. And once their record is clear, all of that becomes an easier part of life for them. Yeah.
Yeah. The collateral damage from the war on drugs has been far reaching for generations. It has damaged our communities, especially people of color or poor people. It's had such a disproportionate, devastating effect on vulnerable populations. So yes, so this is all part of this push to decriminalize it, but also make some restitution for the past harms.
And all of these 4 ways of getting involved are important.
Yep. So there's the petition at the Drug Policy Alliance website. So please go there and read the letter. And
it was very easy. I signed the petition earlier today, and so easy.
Great. So that's one way. And then find out who your legislators are by going to congress.gov and look them up and encourage them to deschedule. And
you know what, that's something that's an important part for people in general, to know who your legislators are. That congress.gov, easy, put in your zip code, you find out who they are, because this is one element of society, and certainly it's one that I'm very involved with and really feel passionately about. But I contact my Congress people for other situations as well. So good thing to have.
So not only on the congressional level, but local. So I'd like to give a shout out to my friends at the Last Prisoner Project, because they have been very actively helping reform our cannabis drug laws in Hawaii. They have very successfully pushed through an expungement bill here in Hawaii. It's House Bill 1595. If you're interested in looking at it, it is still alive despite a battering, but they've been wonderful at helping push through our adult use legalization bill too, and helping educate people about why we need to decriminalize cannabis on as much as we can.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Wendy. Just take a look at this, everybody, I'll put it up again at the end if you'd like. But drugpolicy.org, sign that petition. Sign that petition, super easy.
Yeah. Yeah, please do whatever you can and raise your voices. This is a perfect moment in time. This is the largest gathering of cannabis activists in the history of the world at the 420 Unity Week, and a good opportunity to raise your voice if you want to.
If you have any other questions for us, please feel free to contact me or to contact Wendy. Educate yourself. That's really what this is all about.
Yep.
Education.
So to quote one of my favorite cannabis clinicians and researchers, Dr. Dustin Sulak, he says, cannabis works best with education.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, changing our drug laws also works best with
education. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you again, Wendy. We'll see you again next week.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you, Dale.